Geez, I pop out to Israel for a few days to cover some stuff, and everything breaks out in Alberta. We have the biggest independence rally ever held in the province up in Edmonton. Daniel Smith has done a back to work order for striking teachers. And Thomas Fabio Lukaszuk, has triggered an independence referendum. It's been beautiful to watch this weird flipping and flopping from that man. Well, he tries to claim, well, no, I didn't really want to have a referendum. I just wanted to have everybody vote in the legislature on it. What? I mean, I had to admit, I was kind of impressed. Look, it takes a lot of ground effort, a lot of union funding, and God knows what else. But to get over 400 and some thousand signatures on a petition, but now he's saying, well, no, I don't actually want a referendum. Actually, you're lying, Thomas. You're lying through your teeth, because the application says it right there. What you were petitioning for was a referendum. The people signing it were signing on the premise that it was going to trigger a referendum. So I don't know what you thought you were doing. Basically, I guess you didn't think about it. All this effort and you didn't think about it. Because, yeah, the response from the Alberta Prosperity Project and other independence advocates are pointing out, well, guess we're having an independence referendum. I mean, now there's some things to sort out of all this. And I got to admit, I'm not sure how this is all going to iron out in the end. For one, he did his application based on it being a policy proposal, not a constitutional one, which changes the bar. He also, his is phrased on a negative. It's basically a nothing burger petition. It's saying we want to vote to keep things the same. But I mean, the way the legislation works, the legislature, if they're going to hold the referendum, actually can amend and change some of the text of the question. I think they have a valid case in saying, well, this is a nothing burger question. We don't need to waste everybody's time to have them come out and have a referendum on saying, hey, would you all like to do nothing? But since clearly 450,000 people want a referendum on this issue, we should flip it around then and move it to the positive and make it constitutionally compliant with the Clarity Act and have it clear and saying, do you want Alberta to leave the Federation? Just changing it to a positive to a negative. It's the same question. It's just which way we're going to ask it. So in other words, inadvertently, Thomas Lukaszuk and his Forever Canadian bunch have saved all the time and effort that the Alberta Prosperity Project would have had to do. And Premier Smith sort of said as much. Well, okay, Thomas, you asked for a referendum. We're going to get a referendum on independence. Thank you. Now, if this happens, we got a lot of things still to go through. So looking at Fabio's petition, that's going to be checked through and everything. I believe it's January 6th before they're talking about, that would be the thumbs up or thumbs down from Elections Alberta, that the signatures were correct and so on. A couple of months there. And then the legislature could, whenever, schedule the referendum. I believe all roads are leading, in my view, to a spring referendum on independence. Whether it's the Alberta Prosperity Project who triggers it, or whether it's Lukaszuk's petition that triggers it. I don't, there's a lot of debate on that. I don't think Premier Smith wants a yes vote in a referendum, but I think she wants a referendum. So, because it's a strong political tool and a power play. But it doesn't matter if she wants a yes vote or not, as long as we get the referendum. I keep going back to that. That's what's so important. Then it's up to us. It's up to citizens. It's up to the members of the APP to get out there. But it's far from done. So let's say there's a spring referendum on this. We've still got to keep working as much as we always have been then to win that, because I don't think we're there yet. We're on the way. It's getting closer. Look at that rally in Edmonton. It was fantastic. Legacy media would barely touch it, of course. Oh, they just pretended it didn't exist. If thousands and thousands of people came out to the legislature for just about anything else, legacy media will be there in droves, and they are. But they pretend nothing happened with this. I'm still going myself as an invited speaker to small local chapter meetings for the APP. I'm not a member of the APP, but I'm certainly supportive of what they're pushing. So I will, lend my support where I can. And these meetings are packed. These are fall meetings in small towns, and they are stuffed. And they're holding hundreds of these things. The base is there. All the resources were going to be directed at petitioning and getting a referendum triggered. But maybe, thanks to Thomas Lukaszuk, they won't even have to do that. Then they can just work straight back onto the campaign mode, getting the vote, whether it's yes or no. We'll see about that, how that works. But the vote to have Alberta leave the Federation. It's coming. It's coming. A lot of hearts and minds got to be changed in a short time. That date's going to creep up on us, whatever it may be, fast. I'm just throwing a dart at a wall, so I'm not going to, put a bet money on this one. But I think it'll be held at like the start of June. So we'll have a big spring campaign moving up into that. But who knows? That could be scheduled at a different time. But it is coming. We've always got to work on the presumption now. The referendum is going to come. So how do we make sure we get a majority vote for independence out of that? And that's a lot of work. Some people have already been working very hard on it. We've got to work even more. The clock's going to start ticking faster and faster and faster as we get to it. So let's rejoice. Let's be happy about this. The movement is moving ahead. It backfired on Lukaszuk. He really didn't know what he was asking for or what he was accomplishing. He's taken away a whole bunch of the groundwork for independent supporters. Great. We'll have that referendum. Let's focus again on getting that yes vote. And I'll end with plugging my book as usual, because that does fall into this, the Sovereigntist Handbook. Not so much on why to leave. This is a book for people who've already made their mind up. This is on how. This is on how to campaign to individuals, how to campaign to groups, how to make that tipping point come about to get a winning yes vote. So you're already there. Now we need to make sure that we get hundreds of thousands and then millions of people there for that vote. So, wow, great developments going on right now. We'll see what wrinkles iron out with this. I imagine the APP still, you keep that contingency going. There's still the question they've put forward, which is a constitutional one, which is going to the courts in November. I think they're going to rule on that. Lots of irons in the fire, but all signs point to one way or another. There's going to be an independence referendum next year, and that's making history. Alberta's never had an independence referendum, but let's make sure, that was one thing. That was another thing that happened while I was gone. Yeah, Calgary got a new mayor while I was out of town too. These things happen, it seems, when I turn it away. But the turnout was terrible. 40% of Calgarians, even though Gondek, as horrible as she was, only 40% of Calgarians got bothered to get up to vote one way or another. We can't afford that kind of apathy with an independence referendum. We have to have everybody, every independent supporter getting up, nagging other independent supporters, get out that vote. Get them out and win it. Nobody else is going to do it for us. That's a great thing with independent supporters anyways. We're Albertans. We're not waiting for other people to do it for us. That's the nature of the West. We just want to be left alone. We'll do things for ourselves till we get there. Things are looking great. Things are developing. They're happening fast. I don't know if they get too slow. Maybe I'll pop off to the Middle East for another week and speed things along a little more, but it's an expensive and tiresome way to do it. Well, either way, I'm just in a great mood. I wish I'd have been able to attend that rally, but I was thrilled to find out it was such a success, and just to see things progressing as they have. Keep at it, guys. We're going to get it over the line next year.